Hello and welcome to my live Forever in Motion Facebook class. My name is Kimberly Willison and you'll be joining me today live at 10:30 on this lovely Tuesday morning to get us moving just a little bit. So I'll give a few people a minute to come on to watch live, but just a quick reminder of what you'll need for the class today is you can see just over my shoulder here that I've got a couple sets of weight today. I've got a light set and a heavy set, so you can choose to have both a light and a heavy if you'd like. You'll also notice I have a broom handle there, and that's not so that I can sweep up afterwards. It's that we're going to use that for a few exercises. So if you have a broom handle nearby, it can have a light broom or mop on it if you'd like, or I've just twisted the bottom off of mine so I can just have the handle. And then of course a tubing or band as well as a water bottle. So let's get started. So I'm gonna always remind you to have that chair nearby for support. At any time, know that you can sit down on the chair if you prefer to do any of the exercises seated. You can stand behind your chair using your chair for support, or you can just be standing behind the chair just in case you ever need that chair, that it's there for you in case you need to grab it. I'm going to be to the side of my chair so that you can see me, so that I'm not hiding behind it the whole entire time. So let's start with a little bit of a warm-up. So let's start with just a mambo front. So it'll look like this. So step forward and step back, step forward and step back. That's it. Good. And again, as I mentioned, you can do this exact same thing seated. It looks exactly the same, where you're just taking a little bit of a step forward, a little step back. Your just whole body isn't moving forward and back. Good. Okay, let's see two more. And last one. Good. Let's switch sides. So I'm going to go kind of at a better medium pace. Know that you can always go slower than what I'm going, or you could always go faster if you want to work a little harder. And I'm just kind of taking it easy, letting the blood start to flow for you right now and not challenging your brain too much at the moment. But you know what? We're going to get right into some brain work here pretty quick. So make sure you have had your coffee already this morning. Okay, let's see, two more and last one. Now, can we do the same thing, but on the other side? Rather than going forward and back, can we work that brain just a little harder? Can we do one step forward and then one to the side? One step forward and side. And right now I'm taking a little bit of a pause in between here. So if you need that pause in between, feel free to take it. Or you can go front, side, and take out that little pause in between. Great, good. So again, just one more thing we can do to challenge our brain, make it work a little bit harder. And you can see I'm starting to get my arms moving at the same time here. So it becomes a full body warm up, get everything moving, all the blood flowing. Oh, isn't this just the best to get moving first thing in the morning? I guess at 10:30 I wouldn't call this first thing in the morning, but earlier in the morning, mid-morning, getting moving. Okay, let's see two more and last one, and let's pause, let's switch sides. So let's start with just that basic mambo for starters, front and side. And then if you feel like challenging your brain today, and I'd highly encourage you to do that, if you're able to challenge your brain, go front, little pause, and then side, and then pause. Front, pause, side, pause. Nice. Okay, and then if you want to take out that pause, going directly into it, so one front, one side, one front, one side. Again, no, you can take that pause in between if you'd like. That's it, looking great. I see some people starting to join. One front, one side. Great, nice to see you all today. Great. Couple more, one front, one side. Last time. Nice. Okay, and march it out. Okay, let's continue warming up the body. We've done some front stuff and some side stuff. Let's warm up the back side of the body. So what we'll do for this one here is just a tap back together, tap back together, tap back together. So warming up the back side of the body. Once again, this will look exactly the same in seated. You're just tapping back together, tapping back together. So always have the option to do this seated, if that's where you're at today, if you feel more comfortable seated. But if you're able to get standing, even if you have your hands holding your chair, it's just so good for us to get us up and moving. So if you're able, come on up. And then of course, go a little faster, going a little slower, depending on where you're at today. I've already sat for 3 hours of my day today, or over 3 hours for working here. So I'm gonna spend most of my time standing for the class here to get everything moving. Okay, so if you're joining us a little bit later, in my introduction this morning, I mentioned that equipment that you'll need today, I actually have a light set and a heavy set. If you have 2 sets of weights, great. If you don't, that's okay. You can always double up your weights to make them just a little bit harder for some of the harder exercises or bigger muscle groups. I have a tubing or a band, either way, or if you don't have a tubing or band at home, you know, a pair of old nylons even does the trick in a pinch. And then the other thing I have that I mentioned at the beginning is just a broomstick or a broom handle. Anything that you have that's long in your house that you would be able to hang on to. So I've just taken the end off of mine, so I don't have a broom on, but you can keep the broom on if it's not too heavy kind of thing. Okay, let's see, 2 more, and last time. Great. Okay, let's march it out. Let's take a few deep breaths. So take a deep breath in, inhale. Nice deep breath in. Great, thank you. And nice deep breath in, inhale all the way up, and exhale. And again, nice deep breath in, and exhale. Lovely. Okay, let's reset those shoulders. Bring those shoulders up towards the ears and drop them back and down. And again, nice deep breath in. Bring those shoulders up towards the ears. Drop them back and down. Whew. That's it. And so much of our day is in forward flexed position, so it's actually really nice to do this little shoulder roll up, back, and down, just so that we're ending with good posture, shoulders back and down, away from the ears, and pull back versus a rounded spine. Okay, a couple more things to warm us up. How about we do a little bit of a skater? So it's step, and we're gonna touch back, step, touch back, step, touch back. So this is called a skater, and as you can see, I'm having my arms to the side. So our skater, I'm gonna back up just a little bit so you can see it a bit better, is I'm gonna take a little bit of a step to the side, touch back, almost like I'm speed skating across. That's it. So we can keep this a little bit lower impact, a little bit easier. If you feel like you could add just a little bit of a hop to that, maybe you're adding a little bit of a hop to that, or you know what, if you're feeling fantastic today, maybe a bit bigger hop as you're going side to side. And then of course, if you're doing this seated, it would look exactly the same, just maybe a smaller step and then a smaller touch back. Good. There are always options in a Forever Motion class, so know that you can always work easy, medium, hard, just depending on how you're feeling today. If you're up for a little bit harder workout, or maybe you're just kind of feeling a little off and you want to take it a little easier. Good. Maybe breathing a little bit harder here now. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Great job. Again, march that out. Great. Okay, so we've had about 5 to 7, maybe even almost 10 minutes of a warm up to get the blood flowing. Let's bring that heart rate down just a little bit. So let's do a 1, 2, 3 tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. And I'm gonna come a little closer so I can maybe see who's on with me now. Oh, nice to see you guys here. Great. Okay, so I'm just cooling down the body, bringing that heart rate down just a bit. I thought what we would do today, and I do this every once in a while, is we would do a little bit of a circuit, or a little bit of an interval style. And what that means is we'll alternate a little bit between strength and cardio, just to kind of keep warm, keep the blood flowing. It's actually good for our metabolism to actually have some of those intervals. It helps to kind of speed up the metabolism a little bit. So we'll do a little bit of interval training today. Okay, let's take one more deep breath in, and then we'll actually grab our drink of water. Good, really important we stay hydrated. One more deep breath, and exhale. Good. Okay, so grab yourself a quick drink here, and I am just going to see if I can lift you up a bit. I'd like you to see more of my feet than you can see of the ceiling. I kind of like it like that. Great, that's a little bit better. Hey, a little less ceiling, a little more legs, hey? Okay, grab a drink. Keep the feet moving if you feel like your heart rate is still a little high. Okay, let's start with some back. Now, our back is one of the major muscle groups in our body, and so probably we're grabbing a heavier set of weights for that, or you can always double up your set of weights. So you can always take 2 weights, cross them over and hold them that way as well. That's also an option. So let's step forward with one leg. Other leg is back. The leg that is forward is the hand that we're going to place on that leg, and then our weight will be in the leg, same arm that the leg is back. We're going to bring that hand to hip and then slowly lower back down. This is our lawnmower in the summer, and in the winter time here now, this is our snow blower. From the side, it looks like this. I'm keeping my head and neck in line with my spine, so trying to keep my back nice and straight. That's it. Hand to the hip and then back down. Great. Now seated is again very similar. Keep going for me. I'll turn to the side. Seated, I would probably just have my hands resting on my thighs or on my knee, but it's the same movement. Hand to hip, hand back down. Hand to hip, and back down. Okay, let's see about 2 more. And last one. Great. Let's switch sides. Okay, again, hand to hip, hand to hip, hand to knee. And we're breathing at the same time, making sure we're never holding our breath here. And we're exhaling as we're bringing that arm up. Inhale as we're bringing that hand back down. And 2 more. And last time. Okay, place that weight back down. And let's do our interval here. Let's do a wide and narrow. So this one will be wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Good. Okay, so I was cold earlier. I'm not so cold anymore. I might have to take off my extra layer here. Great, wide and narrow. And again, seated will look exactly the same. Good, let's get our arms going. And no, if you'd like, you can add arms at the same. Out, out, in, in. Out, out, in, in. And then let's see 2 more, but then let's switch lead legs. Switch which leg starts. Tap down and then other side, wide and narrow. That's it. 4 more, 3 more, 2, and last one. Great job. Okay, march it out. Okay, grab yourself another quick drink of water. I am going to reduce my layers here just a little bit since we're getting warmed up. Grab a drink and then grab onto your band or tubing. Okay, I always dress in layers because I'm always cold. Okay, so we're grabbing onto our band or tubing, and let's extend that hand with one in front, okay? And then we're simply gonna cross with the other hand, and it doesn't matter which one we start with, we're gonna eventually do both. So we're gonna cross, so we're making an X with our hands, grasping on our pinkies, touching together, and we're gonna be about chest height. We're gonna squeeze those bands together and release. And squeeze, I said squeeze the band together, but really we're not squeezing it together. We're actually pulling it apart. So these hands are coming apart. Squeeze and release. Always exhaling as we're exerting or as we're working, and then inhale as we release. Okay, so let's see 2 more. We've done about 6 on one side, and then we're gonna switch to the other side. Okay, and release that. So now we're gonna let go with our top hand, and we're gonna let our top hand slide under where we're grasping. So again, we've got a cross, but now the other hand is on top. Let's do about 6 more on the other side. And we're only doing 6 on one side, 6 on the other side, because in Forever in Motion, we really like to promote that you do 2 back exercises for every 1 chest exercise. So that's why we're doing about 11 or 12 chest repetitions. Okay, give that a shake. But then we already did 1 set of back, and we're gonna do 1 more. And that way we're trying to strengthen our back more than we're strengthening our chest. Since so much of our day we're rounded, we're gonna try to reverse that. Okay, the next one here is for our upper, cardio interval. You might have to remind me a couple times here. Okay, heel dig in front for this time. Heel dig, good. And once again, you can do this seated, you can do this standing. You could do this with your hands on your chair for support. You know you always have options in your Forever in Motion class. Listen to your body. If something doesn't quite feel right, either for you or just for that day, then know that you are modifying the exercise. Okay, great. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm challenging my brain just a little bit as well. I'm crossing one hand, then the other, one hand, then the other. So I'm actually alternating which hand comes forward. So you can see that with my watch. My watch is in front, watch is behind. Watch is in front, watch is behind. That's it. Okay, 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Nice job. Okay, now we'll grab that band again, and then we'll do some upper back. Now, again, this is just another pro tip. I find the middle of our band tends to get frayed or broken first. So when I can, when it's easy to do so, I try to grab the side just so that we're kind of not always using the center, which is going to get broke with time. Okay, so we're going to bring our hands together, again, chest height. Roll those shoulders back and down, feet are shoulder width apart, our knees slightly bent. And we're going to squeeze, this time working our back. So we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together in the back and then release. And squeeze and release. Again, making sure we're breathing at the same time here. So we're going to exhale as we squeeze, inhale as we release. That's it. Okay, let's see 2 or 3 more. And last time. Very nice. Okay, give that a shake. Stretch that out just a little bit. Okay, let's now do, I like to cross the midline of the body. I'm gonna back away so you can see my feet all the way here this time. So we're gonna do braiding, which is good for our brain, it is good for our body. I've seen people have falls or lose their balance, and we oftentimes will, you know, if we feel like we're off sitting, we might cross the midline to catch ourselves from that fall. So let's do braiding, which is where we cross forward, step, cross back, step, together. Cross forward, step, cross back, step, cross forward, step, together. That's it. So just you're alternating, stepping forward and back. Good. Let's do that a couple more times. So I'm doing it nice and slow, just depending on how you're feeling today. Maybe your knees, your hips are just a little off, so maybe you're gonna do a little slower. Maybe you've got carpeted floor. You might wanna be cautious with how fast you do this on carpet. I don't have carpet right now, so I don't have anything that might trip me up. So I'm gonna start to speed it up just a bit. Cross forward, cross back. I'm gonna come in front of my chair so you can see me. Oh, but I'm bigger that way. Cross forward, cross back. But you can see my feet a little bit better there. Cross forward, cross back, cross forward, together. Cross back and front. Great, good. So if you have more space and you're not restricted to a video camera, you can actually go further across your room. Go as wide as you can, cross forward, cross back. Maybe you're having your hands rotate with you at the same time. Good. Oh, and I didn't tell you seated, but seated is very similar. It's just you're doing it a smaller range, right? Okay, and last time. Good. Okay, march it out. So that crossing the midline actually connects the two hemispheres of our brain. So that's good for our brain as well, which is always a bonus as well. Grab yourself a drink of water. Always important to stay hydrated. If we're thirsty, then we're actually dehydrated. And I just did a presentation yesterday about bone health, and when we are dehydrated, it actually really affects our brain or how our brain functions, because our water is actually made up of over 75% water. So really important for so many reasons why we stay hydrated. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our shoulders and upper neck. My feet are gonna be hip width, they're shoulder apart, knees are soft, belly button pulled into spine, shoulders back and down, or ABCs of posture. And we're gonna slide our hands up to the base of our chest. You'll notice my shoulders are never high, my elbows are never higher than my shoulders. And I'm gonna slowly lower back down. Okay, exhale as we're coming up. Inhale as we come back down. That's it, remembering to breathe. So this is called our upright row. So this is working our medial deltoids and our upper traps. Our medial deltoids is the middle part of our shoulders. Our upper traps are what basically hold up our neck. Good. Good. And although we can work faster or work harder, for cardiovascular, faster is harder, but for our muscle strength, actually slower and more controlled is where we're working a little bit harder and safer, which is way more important, right? If we're going slow and controlled, we're going to be less likely to tweak something or injure something. We're a little bit more mindful with our movements and less likely to injure ourselves. And last one. Great. Okay, and release that. We'll put that down. Okay, let's move on to another cardio move. So this time here, let's do opposite hand to opposite knee. Good, pull that belly button to spine, turn the core on. That's it. And again, seated, same thing. You're just gonna lift the knees, right? So alternating, lifting the knees, touching the knee in front. Good. But I would again challenge you, If you are able to stand up to do your exercises, I would encourage you to do so as long as you're able to safely. Great. Oh, nice to see you all tuning in here. I wish I could see you all as well, but please feel free to give me a thumbs up so I know you're watching, you're participating, or leave a comment afterwards. We love to hear from you. Okay, 4 more, 3 more, 2, and last one. Great. Whew. Okay, remember to grab a drink at any time that you feel like you're ready for one. I'm going to try to do one more exercise and then we'll take another water break. Let's do this time here. Let's grab our band again. And again, I'm going to come nice and close. I like to be my view to be as big as possible for you, whether you're watching it on your phone or TV or iPad kind of thing. So let's take the band in one hand. It really doesn't matter which side. So you're going to take the band and you're going to cross to the other side of your body. So you're crossing over. I'm going to get rid of half of my band, so I'm just worrying about one side of my band for now. I like a little loop, just so I have a kind of a handhold here, but make sure it's loose, that you're not actually constricting the blood flow to your hand. I'm going to glue my hand to my shoulder, and how about we come out to the side this time? So we're going to straighten the arm and bend the arm. Straighten and bend. So this is working our tricep muscles, the muscles that as we wave, they wave back. Good. These are great for pushing open a door, getting up from a chair. Good. So we want to make sure we have tension on the band the whole entire time. So what we don't want to have happen is we come in, see that slack in the band? We don't want that slack in the band. So we want to keep tension on the band the whole entire time as we straighten and bend. Exhale as you extend out. Inhale as you come back. Okay, let's see 2 more. And last one. Great. Okay, let's switch sides. So now the band's going to be in the other hand. I'm going to cross the opposite side of the chest. I'm going to get rid of half of my band so it's out of the way. I'm going to do a nice loose wrap. Hand to shoulder, elbow up, and coming straight out. And it really doesn't matter which direction we go. I could go in front, I could go down, but I encourage you just to go one direction at a time. Then I can, again, be very mindful with the movements. I'm extending my arm and bending my elbow. So my movements are controlled. I'm isolating one direction, and I'm going to get the most out of the exercise versus if I was to alternate between down, out, and front, down, out, and front. I kind of lose the contraction or lose the feeling of it if I do that. Okay, let's see 2 more. And last one. Great. Okay, and release that. Give that a little bit of a shake. Good, let's do another cardio interval here. How about this time, let's do a hamstring curl. I like whenever we do something in the forward plane, I like to then do it in the other direction as well. So let's do a hamstring curl. And if you're able, reaching back and touching opposite hand, opposite foot behind. Again, seated option. Seated option is just a little more awkward. You're kind of having to reach down a bit. But it's still doable. Just sit on the front half of your chair. If you're sitting back in your chair, there's no way you can bring your heels back. Great. Oh, nice to see you all still, and I'm sure you're all working just as hard as I am, right? Working at your own level, working the best that you can work. Good. Okay, just to pass the time, I did this in my other room this time. I actually have 2 fireplaces that look very similar, but this is my one in our music room. And in my music room, you can see I've got a Christmas cactus, and it's just finishing off blooming right now. So I thought I would do it here today so you can see my Christmas cactus in bloom. And this is a pretty healthy guy. He probably blooms at least twice a year, if not sometimes even 3 times a year. So he's a pretty healthy guy. Okay, 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Whew, okay, shake that out. Give that a little roll. Very nice. Whew, I love the circuits or intervals. Just kind of keeps the blood flowing in between. So I'm going to grab my heavier set for this one. This one's biceps. And I'm grabbing a heavier set. Just, again, your back is pretty strong. Your biceps are generally pretty strong. So you might be able to grab a heavier weight. Seated will look exactly the same. Just make sure you're not stopping on your thighs when you do it seated. Roll those shoulders back and down. ABCs of posture. Abdominals in, bum tucked, chest lifted, chin tucked. And then bring those hands to the shoulders and then slowly lower. Now with this one here, I'm going to offer this as a challenge. Easiest is with your feet shoulder apart, good base as support. If you can bring those feet together, narrow your base. That just makes it a little bit more of a challenge. Your core is having to turn on, your outer thighs. You could also stand on one foot if you're feeling comfortable to do so. Now this is a challenge on your balance. You can see my supporting leg. My ankle is kind of rocking side to side. Good. And I'm going to switch the other side. We're almost done. And then the other thing I can do if I really want to challenge is reciprocal. So this is challenging my brain because I'm having to balance myself while my arms are going in the opposite direction. And so this will be stretching my core, strengthening my core, my balance, my brain health. Let's see, 2 more. And last one. Woo! Now maybe we didn't hit that today, but maybe that's something that we can work towards is reciprocal, is narrowing our base of support, because all that is good to challenge our brain. Okay, let's try this one. This one here is kind of a cowboy-ish kind of move. We're bringing that knee up and those hands down. Great. And I think we used to have a name for this one. It's not coming to me right now. It's like, I don't know, cowboy knees or something like that. Great. Down and up. And again, seated. You can do this seated as well. Making sure you're breathing at the same time. And again, slow it down if you're maybe breathing pretty heavy and you feel like you've almost had enough. Speed it up if you want to work a little harder. Okay, this is one of the last few exercises here. So work as hard as you can. Last 4, last 3, 2, and last one. Whew. Okay, march it out. Give those shoulders a nice big roll. Release it. Whew. And 2 more. And last one. Okay, let's bring that heart rate down just a bit. Let's start by having a drink of water. And this is also a good time. If you haven't had a chance to grab a broom handle or broomstick or something kind of long that you can grasp onto, I don't know, like a stirring spoon is just a little bit too short for that, but grab something that you have nearby. Because we will use that for our stretches at the end. Okay, let's move on to our balance, and then we'll do some core work too. So with your balance, always know you should have your chair there for support. So feel free to do these seated, but I do suggest that if you are able to stand up for your balance, better to be able to hang on to that chair and challenge yourself. So level 1, you need the chair for support, both hands. Level 2, fingertips on the chair, and then level 3, hands are hovering. And again, I'm going to be to the side of my chair so that you can see my legs. So let's try this first one. We're going to do a hip extension. So I'm going to take my legs straight back, and I'm going to reach up with that same arm, extending nice and long. Good, and then slowly lower. Our balance exercises are probably one of the only things besides flexibility that we might hold for a moment or two or do extremely slow and controlled. Great, again, have that chair there for support in case you need it. And I'll maybe turn to the side for this next one so you can see this entirely. I'm not arching my back and keeping my belly button pulled into spine, lengthening through the body. Now right now I'm doing same arm, same leg. So the leg that goes back is the same arm that lifts up. Should we try alternating? Okay, so one leg is going back, the opposite arm will go up this time. Great. Again. Squeeze the bum just a little bit as you lift this leg. So this is working our balance, but this is also working our gluteus maximus or our bum muscles because we're doing that hip extension. Ooh, can you see me challenge my balance? I was just a little off there and my body corrected itself. That's what we want to happen with these. If this is completely easy for you and not a challenge, well then we're not going to see any improvement. Maybe you'll maintain, but you might not see some improvement in your balance. So it's okay if you feel a little off or your body's having to balance yourself a bit. One more time. Great. Okay, and release that. Give that a shake. Okay, let's do another balance exercise. Let's walk a tightrope. So I've kind of got some lines in my flooring. I'm going to step one foot and then the other, one in front of each other. And again, have that chair for support if you feel like you need it. Maybe you're walking alongside your chair if you really need that chair. So you actually have that chair the whole entire time. You can do that. Or I'm going to walk towards you so you can see. So I'm going to step one foot in front of the other. I can have that chair there if I need it. Good. I like to joke that this is us practicing our sobriety test. You can let me know if police still do this, if they think you're intoxicated. I've never been stopped before and never had to worry about being stopped for drinking and driving, so I don't know. But I like to joke that this is us practicing our sobriety test. So if you want, you can really practice and have opposite hand or alternating hand to nose. And then if you ever get stopped, then you know how to do this. You're well practiced up. Good. Okay, one more time. You can touch your nose or do something else. How about I'll get you to lift one hand, lower one hand, lift the other hand. Woo! Just kind of throwing us off balance just a little bit by having one hand up and then the other. Very nice. Okay, we did it. Great job. Okay, last one I'd like to do, and I do this one almost every time, but that ankle mobility and strength in our calf muscle and our tibialis anterior is really important. So let's come and face our chair. So you're holding on, and I'm going to come up to my tippy toes, and then I'm going to rock back onto my heels. And I actually like to have my chair nearby for this one, because especially as we rock back, you might find that it throws you a little bit off balance. Good, nice, slow and controlled. Listen to your body. That's it. Okay, two more. And once again, the slower and the more controlled we go, of course, the harder we're going to work. Okay, and then give that a little shake. Okay, nice work. Let's get into some abdominal work. So I'm actually just going to leave my weights on my chair, because I'm going to be sitting on the front half of my chair anyway. So it really doesn't matter if your weights are still there or not. And that kind of gives me a reminder I shouldn't have my back, or I shouldn't be back on my chair anyways. So let's place our hands on our thighs. And we're gonna slowly lean back, keeping that chin to the horizon, and then slowly come all the way back up. Good, always movements are slow and controlled. I can keep my hands on my thighs. I can cross my hands, kind of like genie arms, or just crossed to the shoulders. Or I could have my hands behind my head, but if I'm gonna have my hands behind my head, really important, I'm not pulling on my ears or pulling on my head. It's just fingertips behind the ears, and that's it. So this is working our rectus abdominis, or our core in the front side. Make sure you're breathing here at the same time. Don't hold your breath. Okay, let's see 2 more. And last time. Great job. Okay, this next one is for our obliques along the side. So you can do it seated or standing. I'll show you seated first, and then I'll show you standing. But in seated, you're gonna lift one arm up, and you're gonna bring armpit to hip, and then release. Now, I just had somebody ask me about this the other day. We had a phone conversation about this. Sometimes, and I think maybe in the circuit, it looks like we're bringing knee to elbow, or somewhere it might be written knee to elbow, and that is not correct. That would be working your hip flexors, and we don't want to work our hip flexors. Those are already tight. It's armpit to hip as we're bringing them closer together, and then release. Then we're actually working our obliques and not our hip flexor, which is already a tight, strong muscle that really doesn't need to be tightened more. Okay, so that's seated. We can do that standing as well. Looks like this. Good, let's see 2 more on that side, and then we'll switch. Good, and then other side. So you notice in standing, I'm hardly lifting my knee up at all. It really is a hip lift. My knee bends a little bit. But imagine armpit to hip, or elbow to hip versus knee to elbow. Good. And again, you can have that chair in front support if you need. Good, make sure you're breathing at the same time. Don't hold your breath. And 2 more. And last one. Okay, I'm gonna give you a moment here to grab a drink, grab that broom handle if you haven't already, and then we'll continue on. Okay, so once you've grabbed a drink and you've grabbed your broom handle, we're into our last 5 minutes of class, into our flexibility section. So let's grab our broom handle and do a few stretches. So again, you can do these seated or standing, completely up to you. So I'm gonna start with some of them standing. I'm gonna step forward, I'm gonna reach my arms up. Now this is our flexibility section, so completely okay if we have our hands above our head, and then let's step back. Let's do that again. Step forward, reach our arms up, getting a nice stretch to that back calf muscle. Great, and release that. Okay, let's do one more time on each side, and then we're gonna hold it. So I'm getting a stretch to my back calf muscle, a little bit for my front thigh, and opening up through the front side of the body. And release, and one more time. And then seated, what you would do, you would just simply take one leg back and reach the arms up. So it looks very similar. Good. Okay, this time here, we're gonna hold it in the spot. I'll turn to the side. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. This is how it should look. We're gonna reach those arms up so you can see nice, long opening through the body, stretching through that hip flexor, through that quadricep. And then what we're gonna do, just because I know you are so amazing out there, we're just gonna reach that to the side here. Not a big drop of the spine or bend to the spine, but reach those arms to the side, just getting a little bit more of a stretch through the side body here. And you might feel that in your leg as well. So if I was doing this seated, it would look like this. And then I'm going to bring my arms to the side, like that. Good. Okay, and release that. Come back up. Switching sides, other leg back. Reach those arms up, stretch long, open up through the front side of the body. Calf stretch here, hip flexor, quadricep. And then let's lean to the side or bring those arms to the side, getting a nice stretch to the side body. You can see my spine is still nice and long still. Nice. Okay, one more breath. Good. And then come back up. Good. And then step in, bring that broomstick back down as well. Okay, let's just do a little bit for called our T-spine. We have our spine here, and our spine makes a little bit of a T with our shoulder blades and our upper body. So we're just gonna hold our broomstick about this far. I might even suggest have those hands a little further apart to start with, just to give you a little bit more space. Watch me at first. I'm gonna turn to the side, reach my arms up, over, only as far as it feels comfortable, come back and down. My chair is in the way just a little bit. I'm gonna move it back and then do that again. So I'm gonna lean to the side, reach up, watch my light switch or my light fixture back and around. Good, let's do that a couple more times to that side. Reach up, around, and this might be your first time because you might have been watching me the first few times. So let's do that a few more times. Reach up. You can see I'm turning my ankle, turning my hips, bringing my arms up and around. So if you have less flexibility in your shoulders, make your hands wider. If you feel like you have pretty good flexibility and range of motion, you can always bring those hands a little closer. Play with that a little bit to see what feels right for you today. Good, last time on this side, and then let's switch sides. Whew, that feels good. Just kind of loosens up the shoulders and upper back. Let's go the other direction. So other direction, up, around, back, and down. Good, again, up, around, back, and down. And taking some nice deep breaths with this. And one more time. Very nice. Oh, that feels so good, doesn't it? Just releasing through the shoulders a bit. Okay, another really nice one to do with a broom handle. You can modify this with your band as well. Just take the broom handle on one side. You're going to bring it up and around and behind your back. And then you're just going to grasp on with that other hand. So maybe this is where you are at today, where just grabbing the broom handle on both sides is enough for you. If it's available to you today, you can start to slide the hands together a little closer and then only go as far as it feels comfortable. So gradually bringing those hands together. Maybe we're able to actually have those fingertips touch. But know this is something that you'll need to work on. You won't be able to necessarily grab or hold together right away. It might take, several times for you to be able to gradually bring those hands closer together. Okay, let's slowly release that because that's a pretty deep stretch. Slowly release that, switch sides. So now the broom handle's on my other side. I'm gonna bring it up and around. And again, I might start with my hands a little further apart here. I might gradually bring my hands a little closer together in the back. Great. Oh, and great. Sunny has come to join us. Lovely. Okay, bring those hands just a little closer together. Good. Okay, standing nice and tall. So this is stretching out the tricep in the other upper arm and the front of the shoulder in the other arm. So you're getting multiple things stretching all at once here. Okay, and release that. So our broom handle is behind us right now. So I'm just gonna grasp on behind myself, and we can just lift up our hands, opening up through the front of the body here. I could gradually bring my hands a little closer there again, maybe lift up. Good. Getting a nice stretch through the front of the body this time. Taking a few breaths. Good. Oh, isn't this the best part? We've worked really hard. We've done some cardiovascular. We've done some strength. We've incorporated balance all throughout class, but we've done a few extras at the very end. Worked our core, which is so important for good posture and good balance. And now we're wrapping up with a really nice flexibility. Okay, so keep those hands behind. Just one more stretch. Let's drop one ear to our shoulder, okay? So if I've dropped my ear to this side, I'm gonna pull my broom handle to the same direction. And I'm just gonna pull it back till I get a nice stretch. I'm dropping the shoulder here and getting a nice stretch to the backside. So from the backside, it looks like this. Boy, I'm lucky I didn't take anything out there at the same time, that I didn't whack something off my ledge. Good, and release that. Let's bring that head and neck the other side. So drop the other ear to the other shoulder and then pull the broomstick the other way. Good. Again, nice stretch through the upper neck. We worked our upper trapezius muscles here today. So this is a stretch for that. So know that I always love to hear from you. So feel free to give me a thumbs up, a happy face, or boy, I guess if you had to give me an unhappy face that this was not a great class, I would still like to hear how I can make it better for you. But I really love to hear how you did today. If you liked some of the incorporating of interval training, if you like some of the broom handle exercises. Okay, and release that. Okay, let's take a nice deep breath in. Let's bring those shoulders up one more time. Nice deep breath in, lift up. And then exhale, bring it all the way back down. Again, nice deep breath in. And exhale. Again, nice deep breath in. And exhale. Okay, my friends, that is it for us today. Just a quick reminder, we should still be having some water after class. Having a drink of water is always good for us to stay hydrated, and because we did have a really good workout there, we want to make sure we have some water to just rehydrate ourselves after we've maybe gotten a little sweaty kind of thing. So thank you so much for coming. I see some of my friends there online here. So nice to see you all. Oh, I feel like I want to say hi to each and every one of you, but then I'd miss somebody else. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of the week. Stay warm, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for coming, everyone. Bye for now.